This is ring number 3 and I've called it the rose ring. It looks a little bit like a stylized rose. The materials you're going to need will be in your kit in the bag marked ring number 3, but if you're replacing them and doing some more, you're going to need approximately 12 inch, 2 pieces 12 inch or 30 centimeters of 1mm or 18 gauge round wire. Now the more wire you use, if you want a much bigger ring, you can get a larger flower head on the top. If you want to oxidize the ring, you're going to need some platinol or a hard-boiled egg, and if you pop along to www.wireguild.com, there is a free tutorial there showing you how to do that. So I've got my 2 lengths of wire, and I'm using copper definitely for this one. It always looks really nice in copper. I've already marked my ring up with my size guide of where I'm going to be working, and I'm going to bend the wires up. So I slid them underneath the mandrel and brought them up to the top. Where they cross, I'm pulling that very tight and twisting it around. Now if you wanted a simple ring, you could stop at that point. It looks very sweet, little knot, uses less wire. But we're not doing that. We're going to make a rose. So I'm going to keep twisting this around and around, allowing the wires to bend and to slowly increase the size. I don't want just a long point. I'm just making sure the wires aren't twisted there, and I'm just adding them around, and you'll see that you start to get this sort of spirally shape. Now come over the top a little bit, and then I'm going to wrap these around. That just gives me a little bit more detail over the top, as if there were petals. Once you've got to the point where you've either run out of wire or you think, you know what, that's it, I think I've got my rose done, you can slide that carefully off the mandrel. I've got some snipe or chain nose pliers, and I'm just going to take the wires back through the ring shank very carefully, and I'm going to do it one wire at a time. With the wire being 1mm, it will feel stronger than the other wires that you've used so far on the tutorials. So to do it one at a time, you make sure that you get it nice and neat. And I'm only wrapping around once. Then I'm going to trim those off. There we go. Oops, it's hard to trim them both at once, so I'll just trim one at a time, and then press those ends. Didn't leave myself quite enough bend over the top, so I'm just easing it into place, and now they're a little bit long. If it looks like you're going to bend them over and it's going to protrude from the other side of the ring shank, you know, the bit that's going around your finger, just trim it down a little bit further, and I'm just squashing those into place. It's worth taking a little bit of time getting this done, because the last thing you want is anything sharp sticking out on your ring. So I'm just making sure that's absolutely flat, and now I will do the same with the other side. So one wire at a time. Can you see how I take the end of the wire and curl it over and through, bend over and curl through? That way you can ease it through. You're not dragging against the wire. You don't want to pull the wire away from the design that you've already made on the top and stretch it. You want that to stay as it is. So just ease those into place, and then one at a time, just get rid of the loose ends with my snips. Then tuck those over and then press them nice and tightly down. There we go. Now as you can see, it does look like a rose, but I'm going to oxidize this and darken it down, then polish it back. Like I say, if you pop along to the Wire Guild website, there is a free skill set tutorial there which takes you through how to either use the platinol or how to use the hard-boiled egg method of oxidizing your ring. I hope you enjoyed this one.